Hello and welcome to the Weekend Investing Daily Byte of 22nd of July, and we are right there. The budget is tomorrow, and the economic survey was tabled today. It was always a day before the budget, where the entire economic growth, the prospects, the situation is assessed and put into a document called economic survey. And essentially, the budget is supposed to, take that into cognizance and make the proposals for the next year. So they have said few things which are a bit concerning. But of course, first, please go through all the disclaimers for this video, and we'll discuss what they have said in the economic survey and what are the expectations in the budget. My guess, and this is purely a guess, that we are going to get hammered on FnO tomorrow. Uh, I think uh, the, like they say, there is no smoke without a fire. So there has been murmurs all this while, last 3 weeks, that SEBI chairperson also has been mentioning that too much volume in FNO is happening. Um, Banks deposits are getting hit because money is moving from banks towards speculation. Young folks are getting sucked into the FNO charm. So a lot of this talk has been happening for not just this 3 weeks, but actually for last 6 months, I would say. And this is gaining momentum. So see, sometimes there is talk about something and people forget about it after a while, and it's business as usual. This is, however, sort of rolling down like a snowballing into an avalanche, and it's getting the noise is getting bigger and bigger, and that is why uh, my fear is that tomorrow we will get hit on FNO, either in taxation or in very heavy margins. I think something is coming tomorrow. I'll be happy to be proven wrong, but that's where the signals are suggestive and pointing. But we'll discuss about this in the second half of the video. Do subscribe to this channel. We need your subscriptions. A lot of folks are watching our videos but not subscribing. Please do subscribe to the channel and hit the bell notification. It does nothing because we don't monetize these videos. There is no ads running on these videos, but it helps us to at least know that more and more people are watching this, and this content is making some impact, and some discussion on the content in the comments also is always welcome. Where is the market headed? Markets were, I would say, reasonably flat. We opened down. So post the Reliance results overnight, you had sort of a very weak open on the Nifty, but then other parts of Nifty made sure that Nifty closed flat. So yes, after yesterday's drubbing in the market, we had a hour or hour and a half of drubbing this morning, and then we recovered back to even. So this Nifty management, as I've been calling it since almost 10-15 days, has been phenomenal. Regardless of which sector goes down, there are other sectors which are uh, pushed up to make sure that Nifty is not really going down. I don't know how this is done, how well this is managed. Are there any, strong hands behind this? I really can't say, but this is what is evident when you see the screen. Um, the other fact is that we are a bit stretched. We haven't had a decent 5-day correction also since 21,200 on the budget on the election day. So there is some room for some, sell off or some resting period for the market, if for lack of any other word, that can happen. So the market is poised to rest. Now, whether the budget can deliver something that is beyond what we are expecting. So what can be beyond what we are expecting? That no change of any kind for the markets. That will be a surprise. The market is currently, I think, uh, sort of prepared itself that we will have some sort of a, uh, you know, uh, either a taxation or a different format in terms of what investing can be done in FNO, etc. Something that is detrimental to markets interests is getting sensed in the market. If it doesn't come around, if it's a no event, non-event for the markets, then we may also see an all-time high coming tomorrow itself. So these are the two situations. I think there is more room for downside given the clamor that I just mentioned is going up. Nifty Junior, however, very, very smartly has bounced from its 40-day moving average. This is a good bounce. However, last three sessions were pretty steeply down. So we've basically come back to similar levels where we were at the beginning, at the top of the elections, and slightly gained on it today, which is a very fair place to be at in just one day before the budget. Mid caps also bouncing very near the this 40-day average at 1.1% up, a decent recovery from yesterday's fall, and the small caps also doing the same at around 0.89%. So sort of even Stevens situation for bulls and bears. There's no steep fall before the budget. There is no steep hike before the budget. So it is very much sort of in equilibrium. And now some new news has to topple this equilibrium, or some no news has to do this. Bank Nifty, as you can see, has been very, very steady. No falls at all. 0.03%, almost like a dead man in a ICU. Uh, so this is where we are in terms of the expectations from the markets. Reliance, the top loser, along with Kotak Bank at 3.5%. But one stock which really went through the you can say the floor was Wipro at minus 9.2%. So despite Wipro doing a 9% down, ITC doing almost 2% down, Reliance doing 3.5% down, SBI 1.4% down, Kotak being 3.5% down. Despite all this, Nifty has closed flat because HDFC Bank is up 2%, and some other heavyweights also, Mahindra, Tata Steel, Ultrasemco, NTPC, Power Grid also gained ground. So very good management of Nifty right there. In the Nifty Next 50 space, very surprisingly, it was mostly green. You had fantastic gains in stocks like Hindustan Aeronautics, BEL, Vedanta, Shree Cement. You had Torrent Pharma go up, Siemens, REC, PFC, DLF, Canara Bank, etc. So on and so forth. Very, very few losers in the Nifty 50, Nifty Next 50 pack. Sectoral trends, public sector enterprise stocks, as expected just a day before the budget, have leapt up in again expectations that I don't know what will come in the budget for them. I think they're already quite extended. Uh, I'll be very surprised if public sector enterprise stocks really have another big leg immediately after the budget. I would imagine that they would cool off, but then forecasting is not my forte at all. Automotive stocks also up 1.2%, hoping that some good EV policy or something hybrid policy may come around. That is up by 1.2%. Pharma stocks doing well, 1.1%. Metals up 1%. Commodity stocks up 0.8%. Very surprisingly, consumption is up only 0.5%. I would have imagined that consumption stocks would have done the best today, given the fact that there is expectation that there will be rationalization of tax slabs to free up disposable income in the hands of the salaried class, which would give a bump to consumption. But consumption is it was fairly, I would say, not so moved today. 0.5% up in the last 1 week. Also, consumption stocks are up only 0.2%. Infra stocks, again, I would have expected a better performance today. 0.4% only. There could be big announcements for infrastructure, but maybe a lot of it is already baked in. PSU banks not moving at all, 0.3%. You had Nifty down 0.1, Energy down 0.3, FMCG down 0.3, IT 0.4. Real estate was another place where I thought just before the budget there would be a big movement up, because there is talk of rationalization of long-term tax on real estate, and if that 2-year period is brought down to 1-year period, or or the tax rates are rejigged, real estate would really benefit out of it. I don't think they are in line to lose anything. So if anything, I think real estate will gain, and if anything, the equity markets may lose in terms of taxation. Um, I don't think real estate has anything to lose, and I don't think equity market taxation has anything to gain. So this is how the positioning of the two taxation regimes are just before the budget. PSU Bank's best performing sector still has not cleared the pre-election day high. We had attempted once, but that got broken down again. So we are below the election day high. So we are just about hanging there, waiting for some big trigger to happen. Maybe the rate cut that comes around in September is going to propel banks higher. Auto index very nicely support taken at the previous supports and bounced. So we are consolidating in this band. Once this band breaks either way, there can be a very big trending move here. Stock spotlight is on RCF, again a 9.8% move. So RCF, FACT, all these stocks have been moving like crazy as if budget is going to be, changing their fortunes. Maybe it will, I don't know. Maybe they will announce some huge subsidy for farmers to buy fertilizer. Maybe that is a queue that is already getting built into the price. But the way these stocks have gone up, just see in April itself, just before April, it was 120, 130 rupees, and now it is 235 already. So some big news is possible given the price moves the way it has come. And of course, the long-term trend had broken out way earlier in 2022, and it is building on top of that in terms of the RCF long-term chart. So again, the details of the economic survey and the budget expectations. I am expecting to get hammered on FnO tomorrow. The economic survey was tabled. I'll very briefly and quickly go through this. 3.2% growth in 2023 is the world outlook. There are, India growth rates which are near to 8.2% for FY24, continued momentum from last year. We've exceeded 8% growth in 3 or 4 quarters. So robust economic performance and focuses on macroeconomic stability uh, and minimizing the impact of external challenges. So the world is slowing, but India is still rapidly growing. Is the sort of snapshot from the economic survey. Core inflation has dropped to 4-year low, so that is great news. Uh, it's reached a 9-year low in FY24. Food inflation is at 6.6%. It has increased to 7.5% into FY24. So that is somewhat of a matter of concern. Now, this is the most important part on FNO. What the economic survey says is that market practices that take their cues from the thinly disguised leverage bets masquerading as financial innovations in the developed world have no place in a developing country with low per capita income. This is extremely, I would say, uh, what word should I use here? I mean, after reading this, I feel that a very, very regressive or very, very hard hammer can come down on FNO if this economic survey, assessment of FNO market as a whole is to be seen. I mean, they're virtually saying that there is no place for this in our country. So, I mean, it's a bit scary, frankly. So, short-term outlook, RBI projects inflation to fall to 4.5% in FY25, 4.1% in FY26. IMF forecast inflation at similar numbers. Declining global commodity prices, lower energy, food, and fertilizer prices. So we are looking good going forward. Uh, so economic survey is reasonably very sanguine about the short and long future. Um, the focus on essential foods like pulses, edible oils, etc., is to be done. So seasonal price spikes, if it is controlled, then we can be doing well. Now, what are the budget expectations? So based on a lot of the experts' budget expectations, these are sort of the summary of that. So tax reforms, the expectations are to simplify income tax structure, adjust personal income tax slabs for middle class relief, and rationalize capital gains. So this is the expectation. The third one, rationalizing capital gains, where different asset classes have different capital gains structure for long-term capital gains, especially that can be rationalized. Infrastructure, of course, always a key focus in every budget. So increasing budget for roads, railways, urban projects, boost spending on smart cities and rural infra. This is definitely going to happen. Fiscal deficit, control fiscal deficit, always a target, and possibly because robust tax collections have come, robust RBI dividends have come to the government, maybe fiscal deficit will remain very much in control. And we can rationalize subsidies with that extra money that we have. And because we've got that extra cushion, I'm hoping that there'll be no regressive increase of tax on stock market taxation, but that's just a hope. Support for key industry, incentives for manufacturing and export, support MSMEs for job creation. So these are sort of the budget expectations. And similarly, in agriculture and rural development, you want to expand rural and farmer support programs, healthcare, greater allocation for healthcare, improving education quality and skill development, sustainability, renewable energy, digital infrastructure, and tech initiatives promote innovation and R&D. So these are all going to be always be there in most budgets, but the key focus will remain on infra, on defense spending, on renewable energy, and of course, I am just expecting and hoping that they will just simplify things for the taxpayer, for the markets, for different long-term capital gains, and not go regressive in terms of the tax policy. The key on FnO, I wish I had a more positive view today, but I don't. I think there will be some pain tomorrow on FnO. Let's see how it goes. Let me know what are your thoughts, and if I'm proven wrong, I'll be happy to be proven wrong. But that's where the current signals are. Thanks so much. Thank you for watching. Bye.